Developing of fine motor skills through daily chores of life. While learning something new, young children often refuse to do the task or only give minimal effort, if any, especially when feeling forced to practice. Therefore, it is important that before introducing preschoolers to writing, we encourage and support students to do these fun learning activities. Our first activity is corn cob activity. First, peel the skin of the corn, make it into half, and give it to the child to pluck the grains from the corn. This will help him building in his fine muscles as well as it will develop his tripod grasp and learn how to hold the cob with his left hand. With support of his left hand, he holds it, and with the right hand, he is going to pick the grains from the corn cob and transfer it into the bowl. This way, he is going to improve his eye and hand coordination, as well as he will learn self-management skills. In this activity, the child will apply pressure to his index finger and thumb in picking the corn after cob. Basically, it aids the pencil grip for better pencil holding. This is a very good tactile learning for the child as he appreciates different learnings. Next activity is banana slicing activity. For this particular activity, you need banana, a cake cutting knife, and a plate to transfer the slices of the banana. Now, here we teach the child how to peel the banana with the help of his 3 fingers, that is a tripod grasp, and how to slice it and how to transfer the contents from the chopping board to the plate. First, he will peel the banana, then he will take the support of his left hand to hold the banana to make the slices of banana. Then he will cut them. This activity talks about bilateral coordination and reflects development in children. With one hand, he'll hold the banana, and with the other hand, he's peeling off the banana, which will later help in holding papers. He will also develop proprioception, in which our muscles and joints have tiny receptors that tell our brain where our body parts are. When he takes a fork to his mouth, he do not need to look at the fork to see where it is, or feel for his mouth to know where to place the fork. Next activity is pouring of water. In this activity, children will be instructed to pour water from container to a glass. The child has to pour water up to the lower or the upper level, whichever is asked by the teacher. By this activity, the child learns mathematical and scientific thinking, self-regulation, special awareness, and independence. As children pour, they begin to gain better understanding of the amount of space they have to work and how much water is needed to fill up a cup or container and how much is extra. They are developing their ability to take care of tasks on their own, like pouring their own cup of juice or water. This activity can be conducted with sand and semolina also. Next activity is brushing activity. Most kids consider brushing their teeth as a single task. They go through the individual steps without much thought. But kids who have trouble with motor planning and executive function need focus on one small step at a time in order to get the job done. Being able to visualize what they need to do really helps. Getting kids to brush their teeth for 2 minutes 2 times a day can be a challenge, but teaching them to take care of their teeth can help them to inculcate a lifetime healthy habit. While brushing, brush the teeth up and down and along the gum line. Brush gently in small circles. This is how they develop their wrist movement. Clean every tooth thoroughly and brush the inside, outside, and chewing surfaces of the teeth. The more your child practices going through the individual steps, the sooner he may be able to tackle the entire task without needing reminders. Therefore, Nagin Group of Schools give importance to gain the skills and confidence to tackle new challenges. Next activity is dressing up. In this activity, we'll take a look at the strategies that will teach our child to get dressed independently. Before we start in an effective way, the child must have basic physical ability to accomplish the required tasks. This includes putting on clothes appropriately and putting them away after taking them off. Now we'll perform the activity by guiding the child how to tie the knot. Grab laces by thumb and cross them over to make a knot little tight. Then we'll make bunny ears uncross them over again and pull it straight and tight. Herein, the next activity is zipping. In this activity, the child learns how to zip his clothes while wearing. It develops fine muscles, elbow stability, and finger grip, wherein the index finger and the thumb movement is included. Similarly, a child should know buttoning up his clothes. Learning to button up takes a little time and practice for all kids. You want to work on a tabletop with students sitting on a chair that will give him extra ability while he works. Once he gets some success with buttoning on the table, he can pull on the clothing and try doing it for real. Either way, doing it step by step will help your child feel more confident about learning new skills. Now we come up with folding of napkins. Ask the student to spread the towel or napkin on the table. Then guide him to give 3 folds to it. In this activity, the student is instructed to fold the towel and keep it in the proper place in an organized manner. Also, the student learns to sit erect and have an accomplishment of completing the task. We would request parents to make their child independent by asking him to take out his daily clothes from his almirah. Next activity is sewing activity. Sewing is a wonderful Montessori practical life activity. Not only it is great for developing concentration, self-management skills, but it is also helps the child in correct tripod grasp. This grasp requires thumb, index and middle finger to work together and is also referred to as the pincer grasp. When using a tripod, the child should move his finger with the needle and not use his entire arm. The tripod grasp is considered to be the most efficient because it allows the greatest amount of finger movement and it controls over the needle. It is the least tiring method for the muscles in the arm and hand. Many children hold their needle in a closed fist grasp. The improper fist grasp requires extra effort. which in turn creates fatigue in the arm and hand. A child who uses a closed fist grasp will tire easily and struggle with the task. When you see your student holding their pencils and crayons in a fist grasp, it indicates that they are lacking fine motor skills. Therefore, at Nagin Group, we give emphasis on these activities. This activity can be done at home with thermocol plate, yarn and Fevicol. Dip the yarn's one end till 2 inches in the Fevicol and let it dry. This will convert it into a needle by which he can sew the yarn in the thermocol plate. Next activity is sand pit activity. Playing in the sand can be a great opportunity for children to have unstructured playtime, whether shaped into castles, dug, dripped, sifted or buried. Sand can take many different forms, thus offering endless opportunities for fun and learning. Allowing your children or students to play in the sand by themselves and with others help them to develop their fine motor skills, like those necessary to use a small shovel, pull a truck, and build a castle or moat. By burying themselves in sand and feeling their body position within the sand, children are engaging their proprioceptive sense or the sense of their body relative to space. Writing words in the sand offers a chance to develop language skills. Parents, teachers can ask questions to capitalize on the language play that occur in the sand. Play can also help children develop social skills like problem solving, sharing, and communicating. Sand play offers a limited amount of space and toys for children to share, while accomplishing goals they set for themselves, like building a castle together.